It is the year 2016, and the guild known as the Legendary Entertainment have acquired the rights from the Herbert estate to remake the movies and TV series of a epic saga that deals with warfare, politics, intrigue, subterfuge, religion. We follow the adventures of House Atreides, House Harkonnen, the Emperor, and the noble Fremen. What story is being remade? What story is being retold that many have tried to do before? That story is Arrakis, also known as Dune. The fact is that Legendary Entertainment have acquired the right to remake the Dune series in film and TV. Now, I like the 1984 David Lynch version with Sting and that short woman that was the Fremen liaison, Dean Stockwell. I actually absolutely love film. I've read the books, well, up to Children of Dune, and I've read all the prequels that Frank Herbert wrote. Now, when I heard that Legendary Entertainment were remaking, or had plans to remake it, I'm basically going to throw my money at them. But I'm not here for that. What I'm here for, because I had a bit of a thought experiment, was to do with board games. Now, I know back in the day they made a Dune game, I think from Avalon Hill, and I hear it's pretty decent, but I know it's also out of print. But then I was thinking, well, if I was going to get the rights from the Herbert estate, what kind of game would I want to create? And that's the question I want to pose to you, the audience. I'm going to explain who I think might be a good publisher to deal with it, and explain some mechanics that I think would go well into a remake of the Dune game. What I think a game like Dune should have is more Euro-ish. And by that, I think it should have engine building. Now, the thing about Dune, the core central idea about Dune, is about the spice. Now, one of the taglines is "the spice must flow," and whoever controls the spice controls the universe. So to me, that makes me think, okay, whoever has the most spice in the game is going to be an advantage. So what I think needs to be incorporated into a Dune game, when you boil it down, is the production of spice. So that is your economy. That is your way of acquiring further technology or resources. So for me, an engine building mechanic should be included. Now, with Dune, it is so vast of who you can be. You've got House Harkonnen, who I think in a game should have bonuses to warfare and subterfuge, so that if you play as House Harkonnen, you might have mechanics where you can steal resources from other players because they're treacherous like that. You know, they're sneaky, they're evil. So, that's what I think, House Harkonnen would be good as, that particular faction. You got the noble House Atreides, who would be good at diplomacy, leadership, gathering other forces to aid them in battle or negotiations. You have the Fremen, who could be another race or another faction, or maybe a sub-faction that attaches itself to House Atreides. You don't know. But I'm thinking those 4X games when you got all those, I think it's Eclipse, where you have all those different races that you can play against, and each race has different bonuses and weakness. You've got the Bene Gesserit, who are good at infiltrating other factions and guiding them sneakily behind the scenes. You have the Emperor and his shock troops. When it comes to game design, I'm just amazed how designers take all of this information and boil it down to a nice, efficient game. That requires real skill and talent, I think. But back to the subject at hand. So, in my interpretation of Dune, you've got the engine building mechanic, you've got the economy side of things where you must produce spice. I don't think a deck building mechanic would work. I think you can still have cards, but in my head I'm thinking more Through the Ages style or Civilization. I think that would work really well with Dune. And another thing I think would work well is area control, because when you think about it, Dune was about the spice and harvesting, and whoever controlled the spice fields had the advantage. So I think that that would be a good mechanic, and it's almost taking it from the PC games, or at least Dune 2, because that was one of the things you had to do. You had to spread out and build your base, and I think that would work here. So already we're in that sort of 3x, 4x kind of arena. The next question is, what publisher do you think would be good for Dune? Now, I don't know a lot of the names, but I know that FFG tried to get the rights way back when in the past, but they weren't able to come to a deal. They are skilled at taking huge, sprawling epics, Star Wars lore, Game of Thrones lore. What else have they done? I'm sure there's Lord of the Rings, Netrunner. Well, Netrunner's their own thing, but the lore that they create is quite epic. So I think they'll be good at stripping down Dune and giving you a good game in return. Portal Games might be an interesting choice because they're very good at creating games with stories. Now, they're also good at engine building. So you've got the Robinson Crusoe, you've got the Imperial Settlers. So I think, it would be interesting to see how they handled it. Who else? I know who I don't want touching it, and that's Cryptozoic. Sorry, you had your chance with Batman. I'm not going to give you the chance to ruin Dune as well. I want to have a good discussion about this. First about Dune. So I'll repeat, what mechanics do you think would make a good Dune game? If you know the lore about Dune, who do you think would be a good publisher to handle it? And 3, if you're not into Dune, what IP would you love to be made or remade? And even if there is a game out there already, what's your take on it? Now, you can leave a comment below, that'd be good. Or, if you want, you can send me a video and I'll splice all the videos together. I shall see you next week. The angel has spoken. I shall see you later.